Me again. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the Disney performer role, character role auditions. Um, Last time I talked about the application process, got accepted. Now I was getting ready to do the auditions. Now, I worried about this a lot and super nervous. Everybody there was really nervous. So just remember, if you're doing it, you are in the same boat as everybody else, and everyone feels the same way. So it's okay to be nervous, and you just kind of have to let all your ambitions go, because you're going to act like a dork. So, how it goes, and what I wish people told me. um, think, look at all the places that they're having auditions for the DCPU programs, and I guess what I thought about was what place is going to have the most people and the most talent, and then which one is not. Not saying that some places do not have talent, but okay, my choices to go to audition was either Chicago or St. Louis, and those were my two closest places. And I chose to go to St. Louis because to me it felt like Chicago would be huge, and I didn't want to get lost in the crowd of people auditioning. And I was right. um, there was only about 70 people at the audition in St. Louis, and um, my friend last year, she auditioned in Salt Lake City, and there was over 200 people at her audition, so that kind of tells you right there, location matters. So when you get there, go early. I went super early, and just because there wasn't very many people trying out, didn't really matter if I showed up early or not. But in the past, I've heard that the lines to audition was horribly awful and like an hour wait and yada yada. So go early. Then what you want to do is if you get there early, you want to start stretching because you do not have time to stretch once they start um, having people go through the line and get your application to audition and stuff like that. You don't have time to stretch. So stretch first, and then when they start opening the doors, what you want to do is, well, grab your application first. First, they'll say, we have your applications up here. Grab one, fill it out, and then come back up to the desk, and we'll start signing you guys in. Grab yours first so you can fill it out faster than everybody else, and you want to be close to like the middle person in line, I guess, because they base who tries out first on who's in line first, and you do not want to be the first group to audition, and I will tell you why. um, so get in line, be like towards the middle. I was number 9 to get in line. I was number 9, and so you give them your application back, and well, on the application, I guess I should tell you this, it asks you to like put certain skills that you have rather than dancing or performing, and um, I put things like tap, jazz, hip hop, lyrical. Some people had like juggling, rollerblading. Some people had like circus experience and um, crazy stuff like that. And I just kept mine pretty simple. Um, so you give them your application back, and they give you your number, and you sign in, and and then they take your picture and they check your height, and then you go back and sit down, and the guy talks for a little bit, and after he's done talking, you go straight into the choreography. And um, the choreography is really simple at first. Basically, it's to weed out the real dancers to like the people that want to just do like the costume characters. But if you want to do a costume character, they make sure that you have a little bit of rhythm, because in case you're in the parades and stuff like that. But it doesn't matter if you cannot dance. It's okay. Like, don't keep that from making you try out. So you do that, and also you do some pantomiming stuff. It's so silly. You kind of just have to let yourself go. What they want to see is really big movements, different level changes. Don't keep it too hectic. They'll give you different scenarios. Our scenario was planting a tree, and it wasn't just like a little tree, it was a big tree, and so we had to over exaggerate planting a tree. And then our second pantomiming was washing a dog, and it was hilarious. Some of the people were so funny. So you kind of want to think about a beginning, middle, and end of your story. Don't keep it too crazy. You want them to be able to know like exactly what you're doing. So if you're shoveling a hole in the ground to dig your tree hole, make sure they know that you're digging a hole, like stuff like that. And do something different, because everybody seemed to do the same thing, and the people that stuck out were the people that did like a different thing, and they got called back. For instance, one guy, for washing the dog, one guy did, he acted like he had 3 dogs, like he was a groomer, and a lot of people only did 1 dog. Things like that. It's hard to think on the spot, but if you are in like the middle group, you have time to think about it. So your routine is the first pantomiming, and then the dance, and then the second pantomiming, and it all goes with one song, and it goes pretty quick, and you do the dance twice. So if you mess up the first time, you have a chance to redeem yourself the second time, which is nice, because that's what I did. I messed up the first time. And I'm a dancer, so it's okay if you mess up. So what happens is, as soon as you learn the routine, they go straight into the auditions. And if you are the first group to go, you do not have time to practice. So that's why you do not want to be the first group. I was in the second group, and I felt like that was perfect time. I got to go through it a couple times, and then I went audition before I could forget about it. What happens is you do the audition, and then you hit your ending pose, and then you wait, and the guy is writing on your applications, and then he'll go, okay, I want numbers 7, 8, and 9 to stay. The rest of you may go. And basically the numbers that he calls are the ones that got called back. That does not mean, if you do not get called back, that does not mean you did not get a role, because there was one girl that this was her 3rd time trying out and being in the college program and being a character, and she said that she didn't make it too far through the dancing, but just because she was tiny and she had really good pantomiming skills, that she got a role. So don't let that discourage you if you don't get called back. No one really knows until they get the email saying what you got. or if you got anything. So if you get called back, then that means a variety of things. That could be you got called back because you look like a face character, or you got called back because they want to see you do the audition a second time, and the second time he videotapes it. And then that also can mean that they want you to do the more intense dance tryout and see if you could be like in the shows rather than just the parades that have the more intricate dancing. And for the face characters, they pulled out a couple guys and they looked like the princes, and there's a couple girls and they looked like Jasmine and Pocahontas and Princess Tiana, the more harder characters to find. And what they did is they just took several pictures of different angles of their faces, and that was it. Um, for the intense dancing, that's what I got called back for, was the more intricate dancing. And that was really hard. It was a lot harder than the first dance. And you learned it a lot faster, and as soon as you learned it, you tried out. You did not have time to think about it. But basically, they just want to see what type of dancer you are and what place you would fit in the best. I'm assuming from what they said, that's what I got out of it. I just auditioned Wednesday. Today is it's Saturday. So I still have 4 weeks until I get my email.